Something that tends to sort of come up, at least when it comes to whether you do content creation or even just working a daily job, the one thing I always preface is knowing your worth and value. So, as somebody who has pretty much just been in the workforce for about to be a decade, and sometime in March, I want to say it's like a week, 2 weeks from now, but knowing how much your worth is, you don't realize until honestly, for me, it took me about like a few years to realize how important my contributions were when it came to working on certain things, whether it's just working on just projects in general, even like as far as high school or college, when you have to do group projects or your own projects. Once you understand where you stand, your place in things like that, you begin to realize that you tend to carry a weight that some people just cannot simply see or they cannot even process in general. The reason I bring up this topic a lot is it was something that I had to remind myself every single day when there was always a bad day at like any of my jobs, or if it was just me going to a job that I was just feeling unhappy about. And to kind of draw or like to give a particular example about this worth and value thing. When I worked at when I left one of my most recent jobs back in Cali, it kind of made me realize how much a company doesn't understand the work that we would go through. Where I basically, we were pretty much just like one of the most shorthanded like stores in our district, and because of that, I had to pretty much pull like pure like store manager type numbers, put in all that work, and at the cost of it, it was just a lot of depression, a lot of anger, but also I completely understood why we had to do the things we had to do, and it made me really think about that every day that I went in. It was just, was this worth all the depression? Was this worth all the anxiety I was getting from the store, even when I was not even working those days? I just had to ask myself, was this worth it? And it was a long time knowing about stuff like that, and to see that eventually that the company, once they got the people we needed, they just decided to pull a giant 180 on me, and pretty much just essentially what felt like just absolute betrayal. I just couldn't believe that a company would do something like that when I made sure the store just didn't even set itself on fire just from either just psychopaths around that area, or if something bad happened with one of my associates. It's just crazy, man. And it really made me think that they didn't see any value in me whatsoever. And was I was I even worth keeping at that point on? Considering that, obviously California, you got to work two jobs, just to even survive. But to kind of flip this, though, it actually made me realize my worth and value when I actually left my current job. I say current job because it's the same company that I worked with in California. And considering that I worked there for about, oh my goodness, like 3 years and some change, and all the connections I made, all the friends I made over there, and I still miss them to this day. That was a place that just felt like a home for me. I felt very welcomed amongst that group, and it was kind of like one of those feelings that I didn't have. Like, I've only had that happen like 3 times, like I would say, where I was like, damn, I'm realizing how important I am to like a particular location, when it was like my only second food job. the people, there were some people I didn't really jive with, but then there were people that I really just worked well with and made good connections and just really became, good buddy over there. And that was kind of like a time where I still value it to this day, that we always have to have like a connection to make the jobs not feel so monotonous. That's kind of why I'm I'm social, but I know when to work. Like I always fill in a way like both spots where, I can work very hard, diligently, even if I go slightly out of focus, I can still do the job very well. But I always make sure with my teams that, I got to make sure that they're chilling. They're still doing good with their lives, going outside of work, just because we have to realize that we're all human. And seeing that we need people like that, it's just so weird that seems to be almost like a rarity nowadays. Like, I'll be quite honest. The place I work at, I have, there's people I work with very well. I can talk to them about almost anything. And then there's just people that is like, I could just tell they're just like, they're very closed off. And not that I mean, I get it. Some people just don't want to talk to people. I get it, man. But still, nonetheless, it's just striking that chord is a very important thing to me. And just knowing that stuff that you do, like for me, some of the things I do at my work, that's pretty much just how I am, like almost outside too. I'm just trying to be, just a good person, just catch up with people, talk to them about anything. And I think that's a thing that's missing nowadays. And I just kind of needed this video, just talk about this. And it just kind of made me think. I was like, damn, I'm kind of like, I really missed that spot. And it just made me feel really good, because I actually watched like a former coworker's, her TikTok live. And a few times I ever go, well, that's a lie. Nowadays I kind of go on TikTok more often, but a few times I catch a live. And then when I heard that, they were just like, oh, just remember, we pretty much just sent him off, we gave him his flowers essentially for all the work he's done. And it just made me feel happy about that, man. And it also makes me think about, oh my God, my phone's text. I don't know if that picks up on the mic, but if you hear a little ding sound, that's my phone. But it makes me think about how, like, I sometimes don't really consider my worth and value at times. And I'm not saying that just to be depressing. It's just kind of like, it's never like my main focus. And I sometimes forget about that. And I think I just had to remind myself that what I do and what others do, they can have an effect on people, whether it's good or bad. People maybe learn from this, or they just simply don't want to learn from it. You never know. You never know with how people can be. And considering that we also live in a world where kind of like just being emotional in general is kind of, you get two types of reactions. There's hardly an in between nowadays when it comes to just speaking your mind. It's either you have to agree with them or you just have to disagree. And I think that's one of the most ridiculous things in just today's world. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, are we not allowed to have opinions again? Kind of insane to me. But that's probably going to do it for this one. Before I leave this video, though, I actually want to give a big shout out to a good friend of mine, Read Your Mind. I'll have his handle on the screen probably like as I'm talking through this. His fourth album is actually going to be coming out at least according to him, he said he should be having it out by the end of this week. I'll have to check again, but I'll probably throw it up again, his handle and when his fourth album is going to be. And I'm excited. I'm excited to listen to that, and we'll see what happens. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep listening to these good old commentaries. Or if you want to even see me live stream, which I do plan to live stream this weekend. Friday night we'll be live, probably playing our usual games, but I might be experimenting with 2 other games that just dropped. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.